on Twitch for this?
Yes, and it should be coming up here in just a minute. All right, we are live. Let me know if it appears on Twitch. If not, I will break Twitch.
Nope, it appears to be going up, and yes, it is.
Awesome sauce. All right, are we ready to roll? We got our everything shared, everything ready to go. Complaint email ready to go. It's a real email this time.
We have wrecked it on Twitch.
Woohoo!
Hey, yes, there it is. All right.
All right.
Copy the link.
And here we go.
Bad Batch Episode 3, Venom 2, and Janeway the Hologram. All of this and more tonight on The Real Super Geeks. And
Hello.
welcome to tonight's episode of The Real Super Geeks on this, the 14th of May, 2021. My name is Ross, also known as Live, Love, Play, and I'm subbing in tonight for our regular host, Carlos Pedraza, who is taking care of a good friend of his who is in need of love and support. So, Carlos, our heart goes out to you and your friend, and I hope you can give him the support that he needs tonight.
Amen.
All right, we got a lot to cover tonight, a lot's going on, so let's hop into it, shall we? So, joining me tonight, if you could scale back out, Justin, I will start with, of course, our producer, technician, and tech wizard extraordinaire, Justin.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Got all the buttons that make us go.
Yes, all the buttons and all the sounds that, make the show kind of work out.
Shut up, Wesley.
There you go.
All right, I'll cheers to that one.
There you go.
Also joining us once again, our regular guest and resident hater, Commander Kirkley, Greg himself.
Thanks for having me again, guys. Appreciate the little hater there for that. That for anybody wondering, that's for Discovery.
How you doing this week?
Doing good. I am officially done with school for the summer, moving on to, I believe, my senior year of college, so I'm happy.
Outstanding. And returning once again, Raina, how you doing this week?
I'm doing great. I'm glad to be back, of course, every week, and I have started streaming officially again every day on Twitch. So that's been exciting.
Outstanding. What are you playing?
I have been playing a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of Skyrim, thanks to Travis, who's now got me back into an old addiction. And I have just started the Mass Effect Legendary Collection. So ready to play through that straight through on Twitch. All 3 games.
I need to get that.
It's fantastic so far.
All right. You know them. You love them. The inseparable duo, Travis and Lane. How you guys doing today?
Happy the week is over. It's been a rough couple days, but you know what? Taking the good with the bad, and we wouldn't have it any other way. I feel like I was going to say something else, but I can't remember it for the life of me. Just another
It'll
Friday.
come to you, and you'll kick yourself.
Yes.
Lane will kick him.
All right, and we all want to know. We eagerly wait for it every week. Son, where are you today?
I'm just in darkness today.
I give you
I guess you could say I guess you could say I intentionally went into darkness.
Oh God.
Hey, I was like the first thing I thought of actually when you said I'm just in darkness is the very first Destiny game, honestly.
Copyright.
I know.
We
That's why
can,
they only play
look,
3
we
seconds.
we can use up to 15 seconds, okay?
Yes.
Legally
That's
sure,
just-
but the algorithm, it's
It's weird. It is very weird.
It is a weird algorithm. That's why I only play 3.
Hello,
It's long
David.
enough to
Hello,
hear the first
Brenda.
3 seconds.
it's enough. Anyway. All right. Well, welcome back, everybody. So glad to have you here. So let's hop right into our topics for the week, leading off with the latest episode of The Bad Batch, episode 3, The Replacements. And wow, was there a lot to see in this episode. So let's go on what we liked, what we didn't like, and what do we expect for the future. Let's start with Greg.
I actually just decided to watch all 3 episodes today. I actually missed the premiere of it, but I'm loving it so far.
With everything then.
And the only gripe I kind of had with episode, huh?
Phil, give us, since you weren't here before, give us your impression of the first 3 episodes.
The first episode had me hooked. Like, I didn't expect it to be an hour long, but I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, this is like Disney's doing right by Star Wars. We didn't need to do 3 movies. We needed these series, so we had Mandalorian, and leading into this. So Bad Batch really is like connecting a bunch of plots that we needed a connection to. And having actually the start of the show be the start of Order 66 and finding out that there are 5 troopers who are like, what the hell is going on? So that's what grabbed me in. And just from there on, I hate Crosshair. I mean,
Hey, Crosshair.
He will have a redemption.
he will have redemption. I know he's gonna be redeemed. But this is not, how do I put this? When I was watching it, and like, there's no gore, there's no cussing or anything like that. But this is not what I grew up with Clone Wars. This is much, much darker. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, it's aimed at kids, but you know what, kids, you're 10 years old, and yeah, they just shot somebody. It's like, this isn't like, oh, deflect the blasters.
Follow orders.
Exactly. That right there is going to be like the key dynamic. So it's like, that's why they're called the Bad Batch. I got that. They're bad soldiers. But with episode 3, my only gripe with it per se is that it was a rehash or rerun, if you will, of Mandalorian, where they were stuck on the ice planet. It was a filler episode. They go to the crash land. They go to the crash land. Okay, let's get something fixed. And of course, there's an animal there to probably attack them. So yeah, it was kind of like, this is feeling very Mandalorian-ish right now.
So what makes it dark isn't that someone just got shot. It's the fact that they stay dead.
Yeah, they say that.
If
Yeah,
you watch Looney Tunes, they get shot all the damn time, but they don't stay dead.
Rabbit season.
I mean,
but,
we
with the show
actually-
being aimed at kids per se, like kind of Clone Wars was campy, it's funny. Yeah, Bad Batch has got a little bit of humor, but these guys are really going through, in a way, a version of PTSD, if you will. Like, they're like, wait, we just basically got shellacked. We're no longer needed, wanted, because the Empire came and took over. So we're seeing this firsthand of how they're all reacting to the Empire being formed.
I mean, whenever they did the Order 66 thing, like first, we got to hear.
Execute Order 66.
And I mean, we got to see all the carnage that followed after that. That was great. Everything up until now, I mean, they've done a really good job with this. I'm really impressed with Disney so far with Star Wars. They've done it better than they did with the trilogy series. Yeah, they've done it way better.
Well, they've had a lot of lessons to learn since then.
Yes.
Definitely. At least they're actually learning them and putting them to good practice instead of, falling back on the same old tactics that they were using before. So, we got to give them props for that. They're actually doing a really good job.
So, Justin, what are your thoughts on episode 3?
So far, I like the direction. It was your typical feel good. We all knew that, they brought up the part that the kid didn't have her own bed at one point. We all knew what was going to happen by the end of the episode. I mean, it was just a given. Crosshair's probably going to end up doing something really bad. I don't trust the Clonans. I guess, is that what they're called?
The Camino.
The Caminos?
Kaminoans.
Kaminoans.
I don't trust them. Yeah, they look like they're going to try to probably kidnap one of them. So
I'm more on the line of the Kaminoans. They're going to help the Bad Batch. because they don't like what Tarkin is doing. They clearly don't like what the direction Tarkin is going. So my guess is they're probably going to try to make contact with Hunter and them and be like, "Hey, we're going to help you."
Yeah,
I'm kind of leaning that way, but I'm not sure. But it's just like they're clearly not liking Tarkin.
Well, they're not liking Tarkin because he's threatening their business. Business is selling the Republic a clone army and keeping them in clones. And Tarkin and now the new admiral that we met in this episode, their goal is to phase out the clones, use the clones as a leadership and elite cadre to train the new Imperial army. And the Kaminoans don't want that. They want the Empire to keep relying on clones in the same way that the Republic did.
Hear me out. This just came to me. The Kaminoans are going to have their clones teach the stormtroopers how to miss. We're finally going to get an explanation.
Well, I think I really like what they did with Tarkin in here, where he was explaining. I kind of like this argument between conscripted soldiers and clones, because they're like, well, look, they're a little bit, it's going to take more time to train, but they're cheaper. And that's, the Empire's just starting. That's the big deal, is they need to save as much money as possible for this startup. And I kind of like it, because you kind of see where it was like the Empire wasn't just super powerful right from the start. It's like even they had somewhere to begin. And I kind of like that they took that approach, because it makes them seem like they had to climb.
They're fallible.
I also really, in this discussion, I also really, really like how, I don't remember who says it, but they bring up the point forward, like, yeah, with a clone, we can program them to be loyal to the Empire, but a potential better soldier is someone who signs up willingly to be loyal to the Empire. I actually really liked that little tidbit that they threw in there as well. So,
actually, since we're kind of getting into the spoiler territory, we should probably do that.
Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert!
playing.
Okay,
There's nothing playing.
So, all this talk about the Kaminoans and all that kind of stuff. This is a thing that I've had since what was it? The original? Yeah, the prequel trilogies. Is that all of this stuff is being set up for the Empire to just literally destroy the planet Kamino. I mean, think about it. When the dude like commissioned and conscripted the clone army, what did he fucking do in the Jedi in the Jedi archives? Fucking hid the planet from all the galactic maps.
Erased it.
Must have fallen behind the couch.
Now that you have all of these, now that you have this whole thing that you're in control of now, what's the easiest thing in the world to do? Just transition into something cheaper, destroy the planet, and say it never existed.
Well, one of the things that's really clever in this episode that I really, 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 really admired that they did was I loved where they showed the difference between the clones and the conscripted soldiers in one setting, where it was like there was a moral battle within oneself to do what was needed, where a clone is just like, screw it, let's do it, That's what we're ordered to do. Let's do it. And I kind of like that. That's the weakness, because we see those weaknesses later on in this franchise. So it's kind of nice that they touch on it now.
Good soldiers follow orders.
That's exactly it.
Yeah.
I mean, and not to mention. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we had that.
No.
Scene.
Go ahead.
And I was going to say, another thing that's just really clever is that they touched on the difference between how they're recruiting, where the Republic was, well, I wasn't getting paid to do this. I wasn't getting, my family wasn't taken care of, where the Empire's offering to do all these things. So it's kind of like you get a good idea of what the difference between the two systems. They make it pretty clear how the Empire's like getting people to sign up. And I kind of like that. That was the only good thing about this whole episode to me, is that they went through that structure of, this is how we're doing it. This is how it all came to be. And that was the only thing interesting, because all the other stuff was so filler it actually hurt.
Yeah, the bit with Task Force 99 crash landing on that planet, that was a little dull. I thought it was really endearing that Tank was the one who started off the episode with kind of the thoughtless action, and then ended up. I'm saying that he faked the injury specifically so he could dedicate the entire endeavor to setting up a specific spot for Omega. That is a theory
I'm totally behind.
He
He's
bookended
a
the
big teddy bear.
episode with from thoughtlessness to thoughtful, and I thought that was one of the sweetest things in the episode that really offsets the brutal murder of civilians that we saw in this episode. It was all implied very Hitchcock off screen, but they murdered civilians in this episode in a fucking kids show.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is supposed to be a kids show. I can't believe that he just did that.
Yeah, that's what I meant by my dark comment earlier. Is like where the first soldier's like, no, we didn't sign up for this. Crosshair shoots him, and then they turn around and he goes, that's how Travis is saying, because soldiers follow orders, and then they go and kill them. It's like, ooh, okay.
Yeah,
well, people we don't know or die myself. That's a pretty binary decision right there.
Not to mention that gives us kind of an eye later on, like even things with the First Order and like Finn, having some kind of moral compass, kind of breaking through all that brainwashing. It kind of stems back all the way to this moment where you can kind of see, like, no matter how enticing the offer is, for some people that is always going to push through to the surface, and I kind of like that because that guy was like hardcore, like, let's get it done. But by the end of it, it was like,
Finn, it was even more important with Finn because he was indoctrinated essentially from birth. He was kid as a child and raised to be a soldier. So the fact that on his very mission, he felt that what he was doing was wrong and rebelled. And holy cow, I don't know if we're going to dive that deep into the show. Was that such a missed opportunity in that series of films?
So you guys are all dancing around the same basic issue, and I feel like it should be mentioned. You guys are talking about the how the Republic basically conscripted soldiers or had the clone army, and now you have this Empire who is basically hiring soldiers to an extent, right?
Yeah,
and you're kind of missing the big tie-in with the Han Solo film. It's not just that they're hiring people to be their stormtroopers now. It's that they're going to the backwaters, the poor planets of the galaxy to hire people with grandiose ideas of them getting rich or seeing the galaxy and going places. And you have the same thing happen right now here in the United States in the South.
Sun makes a really good point, because I'd like to actually add on to that the whole thing is it's really easy to get conscripted soldiers. If you think about it, they've been spending this whole time saying, oh, your Republic screwed you over, that your Jedi have failed you. They have basically threw you under the bus. Imagine if you turned all those people into the biggest enemies. You could get those people to come right to your doorstep, the ones who were shafted by the last government. And that's basically what they did. Because the guy even said, like, how his family was hungry, he couldn't provide, and that was the Republic's, that was their fault, ultimately. And he felt that was the responsibility of them to help their people, and he felt that they didn't. That was the whole point of it, and I feel like that they tied that in really well.
As someone who made a similar deal myself, having your basic needs met is a very, very enticing opportunity.
Yeah.
Especially
never having to worry about.
Especially when an education is tacked onto that ideal.
Yeah.
They try to sell it to you like this. Oh, it's a grand thing. Oh, guess what? It's not.
So,
not that easy.
This episode I definitely put on the good, not great category. But I gotta say that I am still incredibly optimistic for this show. I actually wanted to write a little, I guess I'll call it editorial, not really an editorial so much, but a little opinion base on the group about why I feel that this show is working really good right now. And it's actually very surprising in just how strong a start they've actually managed to get, even with like the more filler aspects of certain episodes. If you look at the early seasons of shows like The Clone Wars or even Rebels, which I believe was a stronger start than The Clone Wars, they take their time to build up to the level of greatness that I tend to throw at you guys. I will say that The Clone Wars is one of my personal favorite animated shows out there of all time, bar none. It's a great show, but it takes its fucking time to get great. Like, I'm actually rewatching the show with my roommate, and that first season is rough. The storylines are not very immersive. Like, they don't grip you. A lot of the episodes can be very obnoxious, especially when Jar Jar fucking Binks is the central character of the episode. It happens, and it's just as bad as you would think it is. But one of the biggest flaws of the Clone Wars is that aside from the established characters like Obi-Wan, Anakin, Padme, these characters, the original creations that these guys came up with just didn't exactly stand out, with the exception of maybe Ahsoka Tano, who even then kind of had to build a bit. Like, if you were to look at Rex in the first 3 episodes of the Clone Wars, he is just another guy in clone trooper armor. He does not have that personality, and I don't think he really gets that personality until maybe 3 seasons into the show, if I remember correctly. With the Bad Batch, with it focusing on 5 clones, they had their work cut out for them to give these guys clear-cut personalities, and I think they've done a really bang-up job doing that. They have really established these characters in a very short amount of time, and granted, they did have 4 episodes in that final season of the Clone Wars to kind of give us a brief introduction to them. But I mean, when I first saw those episodes, I was not exactly like bouncing off the walls for it. It was like, they were good episodes, they were fun, but it was like, okay, that happened. I didn't really see a show coming out of it. But with the seeing what they've done in just a short time in this show with these characters, how they behave, how they react to whatever is going on around them, it blows things that happen in the Clone Wars and Rebels in the same amount of time just clear out of the water. And like, I really there was a reason why last week I said that this might, I personally enjoy this far more than shows like The Mandalorian. Like, I am super optimistic of where this show is going to go. And yeah, I get that it's more kid-oriented, and it'll have those episodes that are probably going to be a little bit more on the forgettable side. But from what they have done so far, like, from fleshing out the world to just giving us these awesome characters, I'm still hooked. And I'm still excited for every Friday. And yeah, that's my editorial. I think I kind of rambled a little too much there. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. All right. So for me, this was most definitely the Sniper Guy's episode. His Tarkin and the introduction of the new Admiral.
Admiral Rampart.
Admiral Ramparts. Very strong name. Lots of implications when it comes to that name. Like, there's a wall. This guy. But there's a lot to take away. I kind of think that one of the big theories that have been generated about the series got blasted out of the water with this episode, where at the end we see the Kaminoans talking that they need to make themselves more indispensable. That interestingly, the genetic material given by Jango and that they can't really use it anymore. So they need a new template of a superior clone to build off of. So that tells me that they want to keep making new clones, but make better clones to sell maybe as an elite. That's an interesting thing. So I think the clone revolution thing might not be the clone revolution thing might not be a thing.
Yeah, I remember we talked about that a bit yesterday. I was actually wondering if Omega might be the clone that they were initially,
harvesting.
Like replacing Jango Fett with.
They did say they only needed one though.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
they can still use Crosshair for that program.
I will also say, this might be a bit of a hot take, but I personally hope that Crosshair doesn't get a redemption arc. As much as I love that character, I think he is a perfect antagonist for this series. And if they were to give him a redemption arc, especially in the very first season of the show, I think it would be kind of a lost opportunity. Like
I'm gonna agree with Travis on that. And my point with not making him giving him the redemption is they need a villain who does not get a redemption arc. Don't kill him off, but keep him around. Like he knows this squad as well as they know themselves. So every tactic they're gonna throw at him, he knows. So I really hope that they keep him as a better villain versus saying, "Oh, hey, you're redeemed now." Star Wars really harps on the whole redemption thing. It's like let your villain be a villain.
Well, I think with Crosshair, the other good thing about him too is that's what they were saying. Like in this episode, like, well, can he track us? And there's like this kind of like ominous, like, well, yeah, just like us. And I think that. I agree with Travis. I do not believe that they should redeem him. I feel like he is their equal opposite, their brother, and I think that it makes a good complicated dynamic not only to move the plot forward, but I kind of like where they have moral things to overcome. That's the whole point of the journey.
I think we will probably see a fake redemption where he goes to them in order to entrap them. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's Disney after all, so no, they're not going to do anything too crazy. But then again, it just kill civilians on a Disney
kid show.
I think that they're going to tie into that programming a lot.
Not only that, but he didn't kill them. He made the people he was training do it.
He made the enlisted do it.
Yeah. And another interesting thing, the rest of the Bad Batch still hold out hope for him. So that's going to be an interesting source of drama. They're likely going to continue to appeal to these guys. They're going to appeal to him to come back, or maybe even since we saw Tech crafting that inhibitor chip scanner. So they might actually try at one point to cap and yank the inhibitor chip out of his head.
Well, I actually kind of like that. That was the only thing about the whole thing that I liked with the filler stuff is like when Omega was saying, don't blame him. It's not his fault. But you could tell Hunter is like really, 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 really conflicted about it. And I kind of hope that they touch on the complicated relationship with them because you could tell that they were really close, especially those two before this all went down. And so I'm kind of hoping that they really touch on it. And what I'm actually hoping for in later episodes is that they have a false sense of security like that starts wearing off. And they're like, oh, we got him back kind of thing. And then it's just a fake out. And then, you know what I mean? Like, I kind of hope that they do that because I kind of like those episodes where it really flips everything on its head. Mm-hmm.
This is how they're going to do this. Okay, let this be a George prediction or what the hell ever. The reason that Disney is allowing this to get this dark this quickly is that they are making the Bad Batch the hope of it all. And you can't, what am I trying to say here? That that constant, hey, we're still trying to reach out to you that they're doing to Crosshair is that hope, because they can't portray that kind of hope if you don't have these kinds of things happen to someone they're trying to reach out to.
That hope is you. Oh shit, wrong franchise.
The brighter the light, the darker the shadow.
There we go.
Shut up, Wesley.
That was a good time. That was a good time.
Okay. Final thoughts, Justin.
Can't hear you.
You're muted.
I'm liking the direction they're taking the story. I do think we're going to see more with Crosshair, possible redemption arc. I know, it maybe not this season, but if you saw at the end of the episode, you actually saw him kind of looking really hard at the, in his surroundings in the bunkhouse, like he was missing his team. So it could be, maybe it's not a complete. There's still something wrong with his inhibitor chip. He might eventually turn. Yeah, I mean, they've left it wide open, which is what I love about it. I mean, they're making it hard to guess what could happen next, and they're doing a really good job so far. So, I'm excited for next week. It definitely was a good episode, even though they kind of retreading Mandalorian territory just a little bit. But hey, it's Star Wars. Got to go
Greg.
with the known planets, I guess.
My final thoughts is I'm hooked. I'm gonna enjoy the rest of it. I know I am. I'm gonna go with Travis and Ryan are gonna be like ones like, no, Crosshair can't have a redemption arc. My thing with the Bad Batch is I think they have to make it a limited series. Like either they have to leave it 1, maybe 2 seasons. Because this is when you can't stretch out like you did Clone Wars, Rebels. This is one where it's like immediately as the Empire forms, the next thing that happens is Rogue One. So there's only so much you can do between those two. But
It's a big galaxy.
It is a big galaxy. So, and how I think Sun was saying that they're going to destroy the planet. Well, then the Bad Batch can end when the Death Star is finished, and the first target is going to be Kamino. Even though that Rogue One's test was Jeddah, it could be the first planet they destroy is Kamino.
Reyna.
My final thoughts, I'm going to stick with it. And I'm actually with Kirkley on this one. I hope that they do limited run series like this. I don't think they need to drag them out like Clone Wars, because Clone Wars is insanely dragged out. If they do these limited time things, they can really push a good story in a short amount of time. I think that they should touch on stories like this more. The characters are all diverse enough to really carry the show forward. And not to mention, all this stuff with the Empire is awesome that we get to see this big startup. I think it's incredible because little things that seem little to the casual audience, like people like us that have been here since the beginning, that's awesome to have that context of where all this stuff started. So I can't wait to see where it goes.
I like your thoughts on that one because they could very well go a Marvel route, and that would actually not be a bad idea for Star Wars to try and just move the story forward with another show, another cast. But it's a continuation from the story before, but they just don't drag anything out. I like it.
Yeah.
Travis and Lane.
Well, you guys speak for yourselves. I personally hope that this show gets at least 3 seasons, maybe 4. Like,
no way.
I like my Star Wars animated shows. All right, like I know Clone Wars is a bit dragged out, but those seasons also had like 20 episodes a pop, and this is, I think we're still getting a decent amount. I think we're doing 16 this first season, which is actually kind of surprising, but I personally hope that we get a good dose of just where these guys go, even if it doesn't entirely, this show doesn't need to focus entirely on post-Order 66 Rise of the Empire. This could very well, we could follow these guys into early stage rebellion stuff here. And I am like I said, I'm very optimistic for the show. I am just absolutely loving it. loving it. And I am just kind of dancing in my seat over it because I'm very optimistic about it, and I'm rambling at this point. So,
Okay, McDonald's, we get it. We're loving it.
If we get a Jar Jar episode, I'm blaming you for this 3-season argument. I'm going to tell you right now.
stop.
Shut up, Wesley.
Son, yeah.
I've not watched a single episode. All I've done is sit here and listen to you guys.
If I may, one last thing I want to touch on. I want to give a shout, not so much shout because it's not watching, but D. Bradley Baker, I looked it up, is got to deserve this ton of credit because not only does he play all 5 members of the Bad Batch, or at least all 4 of them, he does every clone trooper voice. Mm-hmm. So this man, if he does not put up for an Emmy, it's a. I don't. No, I'm done.
Talk about your cost-saving measures too.
Right.
He's brilliant. He is absolutely brilliant.
All right, so that wraps up our review of Star Wars: The Bad Batch. Moving things along, we've got a little bit of Star Trek news this week. First off, we had an interview with Kate Mulgrew about both her experience in Star Trek and a little bit of information about Star Trek Prodigy. In this interview, there isn't a lot of new information, but 2 key things. First, we find out is that the erstwhile cast and crew of this new ship were originally prisoners on a planet that escape and find the ship. And her command hologram is activated by just the simple push of a button. She goes on to talk about the impact that Star Trek had on her life and her career. But what do you guys think about these new bits of revelations, these little trickle feeds of information on Prodigy?
Flawless.
I
Called it.
Greg, actually, we haven't heard you talk about Prodigy much at all. So what about your overall thoughts?
Overall, when I first started to announce, I was like, okay, cool. They're bringing back Kate Mulgrew. My first thought was, how are they going to do it? How's it going to make sense? Because she, at this point in the Star Trek time, that she's retired admiral, whatever. But now that she's coming back, my first thought was when confirming the hologram, I'm like, they just did what Joe wanted as the doctor. She is the ECH of this ship. And that's why she's activated by the push of a button. It's like they break out of prison, they come and find the ship, they press a button, and if she doesn't say like emergency command hologram, please state the nature of the command emergency or something along those lines, I'm a little disappointed. But I can appreciate where they're going with the show. I read some of the article. It's taking place in the Delta Quadrant, a little further away from where they originally were, because she does say it's uncharted territory. It's about 10 years. I think they say 10 years after Voyager returns home. So I'm like, I'm going to enjoy it. I'm really looking forward to it because it's like they can really tie this into events that maybe happened in Discovery 900 years later. They can really tie this into Picard. So I'm, as any Trekkie that's like, Kate Mulgrew is back as Janeway. It makes sense to bring her back as a command hologram, because at first it was like, oh, she's going to be a training hologram. She could very well still be one, but if she is the emergency command hologram, I'm on board.
I would like to know exactly, I can't wait to figure out the backstory. Like, how did the ship go to the Delta Quadrant in the first place? I mean,
Probably
was
the
it
same way
a
all the
transport
Alpha-
test or, if it's Janeway hologram, I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if the
ship.
ship.
After Voyager.
I wouldn't be surprised if the ship is there on purpose. That they have the technology now of what Voyager did. All the technology, all the advances 7 of 9 Mtor has made to Voyager. They're like, oh, hey, now we can get to the Delta Quadrant and go explore, and that ship just happens to be there now. Like, it's just either was attacked or what.
I imagine it ended up there the same way that Voyager, Equinox, and everything else from the Alpha Quadrant that they encountered in the Delta Quadrant ended up there.
But both caretakers are dead.
Caretakers dead, yeah.
Caretakers
Yes,
destroyed,
but it
and
could-
if there's a Captain Janeway command hologram, or not command, training hologram there,
Mhm.
that does hint heavily more towards the ship got there by some other means.
Mhm.
Likely a slipstream test gone wrong. It would be
Could
my
be.
guess.
Unless it was a training hologram programmed by Janeway before she took command of Voyager.
I doubt it. Yeah, well,
Because
that's
Voyager was her first command. She was a science officer previously.
and there was the doctor was the first actual medical
ECH,
hologram
yeah.
put into service for Starfleet, so they wouldn't have her as a training hologram.
I'd like to make a point here.
Wait,
Okay, so we know that the ship is probably about Raven sized, right? And the Raven itself was Seven of Nine's parents' science ship
Right.
to study the Borg. So it would make sense that you would have the same type of small, crude ship studying the oh good God, what is it? The Hirogen array, all the way back to the Delta
Yes.
Quadrant from the Beta Quadrant.
weren't those arrays destroyed though by Voyager?
No.
Only partially destroyed.
Part of them was.
Here's another point. The images we've seen from the show have Janeway in her Voyager uniform,
Yes.
in her season 1 hairstyle.
Fat point taken.
And Starfleet officers perform multiple roles throughout their careers. We have officers who go from ship to shore, or ship to planet or station. They become teachers at academies. They, in between commands, officers do different things. So it's plausible that before taking command of Voyager, Janeway took part in a command training program where she recorded a command training hologram. Especially after the debacle that was Red Squad aboard the Valiant.
I don't agree, and here is my simple reasoning for it.
Let's hear it.
This is a new show, and it is geared more towards a younger audience, and I do not believe it would be a smart move to give an explanation that depends on an entirely different show that a lot of these kids may not be familiar with. It just feels a bit more. That feels like Carlos would call it a little fan wanky. I don't call it that, but I do believe it is a explanation that is just, it's not needed. I feel like,
but it's an explanation that's not for the kids. Go back and watch SpongeBob. How many comments as an adult now do you get that you missed as a fucking kid?
There's a lot.
I'm going to be completely honest with you, son. I think I have seen 3 episodes of SpongeBob in my entire life.
Okay, what did you watch as a kid?
I watched Pokemon. I watched Jackie Chan Adventures. I watched Batman Beyond.
You watched Jackie Chan Adventures. There you go. There's an assload of innuendo in that show.
There's a lot of
that. Is a fucking great show.
But there, if you listen carefully, there's a lot of stuff in that is subtly hidden. Just enough.
I don't know about that. Like I rewatched that show not too long ago. There isn't not that much on there.
But I kind of go on what Ross was saying. I can see that because now that he mentions it, I knew why she looked familiar. She had season 1 hairstyle, the uniform. I could also maybe argue the point that she did this after Voyager gets back. Yes, they have the new unis, of course, but she may have just stayed in the uniform like weeks after and be like, we're going to make a new command hologram because she's going to take the idea of, again, the doctor wanting to do this and be like, in case the captain's ever incapacitated. Because when Voyager is thrown in the Delta Quadrant, they do have a first officer. He's killed. The next highest ranking officer, the doctor, is killed, and so on. So Janeway is a captain with the next highest person on her ship being ranked as lieutenant. So my guess would be that she did this after Voyager gets home. Now, if it is before she takes command of Voyager, like Ross said, it's you're going to be this new training hologram for ships. Then that would also explain more why Voyager's her first command. It's a small ship. It's a first brand new class of ship. It's primarily a science vessel. She's a science officer. So then it would all make sense. Your command hologram, trainer, you have a new ship, and so on and so forth.
All right, let's wrap this topic up. We've got quite a bit left to cover. So, moving on to our next Star Trek topic, our last Star Trek topic for the week, is an interview with Gates McFadden. What?
I said boo. Our last topic.
Yeah.
Boo.
Hey, we got plenty more to cover. There's more to the world than Star Trek, man. I know. There's so much. Anyway,
We will
Gates
have plenty
McFadden
of
had
Star
an
Trek in
interview
August.
recently with Trek Movie. Huh?
There you go.
Okay. Gates McFadden, in a recent interview, confirmed that she is not appearing in season 2 of Star Trek Picard, and it makes her a little sad.
Press F in chat to pay respects.
So I'd like to point out. Okay,
Damn it, Travis.
so wait a minute. This is the second I'm not in season 2 of Picard that we've had, because LeVar Burton said the same thing, and I would like to point out something very important right now. As much as these people are saying I'm not in season 2, yeah, Picard seasons 2 and 3 are filming concurrently.
Yes. They're trying to pull an Andrew Garfield. Oh, I'm not in Spider-Man No Way Home. Yes, you are. Shut up.
I mean, they could have been very well filming it because, I mean, you know, they could just be under NDA saying that they're not allowed to say they are or are not, you know, they're not allowed to say they are in the season. So we don't know what they're planning yet.
So the exact quote, "I'm not in the second season. I'm sad that I'm not. Things have changed a lot on different levels, so I have no idea at this point. I'm disappointed because it would have been so much fun just to work with these people, but we'll see. I have no idea. I wish I could tell you."
That's the last line. That's all I needed.
She may not be in season 2. She's going to be in season 3.
This is the moment that verbiage was used so specifically by LeVar Burton. I'm like, yeah, but they're filming season 3 at the exact same time.
If I may, you know what happened? You know what's going to happen, right? Beverly comes back for season 3, and I'm going to get the ooh sound effect. Hello, Captain Wesley Crusher.
Boo.
I think the boo button.
Wesley's a traveler. He's out exploring different levels of existence.
In Nemesis,
it has a deleted scene. He was showed up in one. It's a side scene. I don't care. He's a traveler. He's out there. He's doing crazy shit on his own.
He's still shown in the wedding as a lieutenant at the table with Riker and Troy.
He was on detached duty. He can show up in a uniform if he wants to. Otherwise, he's out there exploring different dimensions, going to warp with the power of his mind.
As far as I'm concerned,
that is the only answer I will accept.
As far as I'm concerned, he's dead.
But back to what Gates said, how Sun's right. And I kind of even called it. When she said, I'm not going to be in season 2, I'm like, you're going to be in season 3. Or like you signed an NDA. I am really looking forward to if they do bring Beverly back, if she is in season 3, Picard ends season 3. Because you don't bring back Q and you don't bring back Beverly in season 3 and then not expect Picard to die at that point, because then he's going to probably type loose and like maybe him and Beverly did get married and got divorced. Who knows? Like, in all good things. But if they do bring, since John Delancey's back, I'm convinced season 3 is the end of Picard. You bring back Geordi possibly for this season, next season. But if Beverly is in season 3, then I'm like, I'm on board for it. I would love to see Beverly and Picard interact one more time and go from there.
So I would like to also point out that Lori Loaded made a video today that was very interesting. It posits the idea that Picard never actually left the Nexus.
That's right.
Yes.
Oh.
No.
And that the Nexus itself would probably act a lot like the AI from the Thaw. And that because almost every other character in the Nexus sees the Nexus as heaven, except for Picard, who is constantly battling his own mind demons. That the Nexus itself would adapt to give Picard what he wants.
Okay, I can appreciate the article, and I watched the video a little bit. Part of me wants to actually kind of believe that he's still in the Nexus, but when he is hold on, Travis, hold on. When he is talking to Guinan, you can go anywhere, anytime you want. And so, because she's like, you can't leave the Nexus. And Picard's like, no, I'm going to leave the Nexus. You don't. I firmly believe he did leave it. Guinan told him how to do it. And she's in season 2 of Picard, so maybe we might touch on that. But I firmly believe that he left the Nexus and went back to the planet, basically temporal prime directive, and went back and saved the planet.
Well, I mean, Lori Loaded actually continues this argument by using the following films to support his theory.
Oh.
Yeah, so you might want to go and watch the whole video.
The little hee and cut.
What following films? Please go on. That's a little late, Justin.
First Contact, Nemesis, the one with the briar patch.
Insurrection.
Yeah. He uses those films to support his theory.
I'm ready for Travis on this one. I want to hear Travis.
All I have to say is that if the big twist of Star Trek Picard is that Picard never fucking left the Nexus, which was poorly explained in a mediocre movie that, even though I have a soft spot for it, I will say is not a very good movie, I'm going to be very fucking disappointed.
Oh, you know what?
Wait, there's more. There's more. Remember, one of the lines in the movie was Guinan said she could not leave the Nexus because she was already there, with Picard's physical body being dead.
What she meant.
Guinan was ripped away from the Nexus.
This is definitely what Carlos would say is fan wink. Don't do it. Don't do it.
And then,
this isn't fan wank. See, fan wank wouldn't keep Picard killed and in the Nexus.
Exactly.
But no, see, Justin, you're right. Guinan does say that I'm already there, because when he goes back, wherever he goes back, she is there. Remember, exactly. she's also now Lori, and so
that's why she can come with him out of the Nexus.
Right, because she's already there. So it's that my thing is like, he's got to be out of it. Now, if Travis, I don't want Travis to be right, like how he put it, but if the twist is that he never left the Nexus, Discovery twist of I already forgot the red thing. Oh my god, the Kelpian,
the Red Angel.
Doing. Yeah, no. What the Kelpian was doing, the warp travel. You can't go to warp.
The burn.
Thank you, Travis. The burn was a terrible twist. If Picard Nexus is true, I will say the burn is the best thing ever.
But here's the thing: we know they're dealing with time travel and Q in Picard, because we've already seen behind the scenes leaks.
But anything is possible with visual effects.
And okay, if we're gonna go that way, with the Nexus, then Picard is still dead in Tapestry. Q's just still messing with him.
Oh god!
Shit. Oh shit!
I still maintain that Picard is going to end as an episode of Tapestry, where Picard is laying on his deathbed. Q invites him to continue exploring.
Picard, the absolute worst Star Trek series out there, or something.
Yes, I am, Travis. So let me lay this out. Then. Okay. So what Guinan says in the Nexus is that the Guinan that is in the Nexus is an echo of Guinan.
Of a person you knew, right?
She is an echo because she was physically ripped away from the Nexus. It is a ghost of her in the Nexus that comes to Picard. If he died in Tapestry, guess what? He still got an echo in the Nexus.
He technically died in the at the end of the last season of Picard, because that's no longer his body. It's just his mind.
It's his consciousness.
And consciousness. So, technically he could come out of the Nexus again if they wanted him to.
He just upgraded from one death to infinite respawn.
He's got one more respawn. He's
up to 20 years of respawn. The way Dr. Soon put it.
Oh, this is great.
All right, let's wrap this up. Any final thoughts, guys?
Yes, please.
On Gates
I hope
Left?
you all, like, the only final thoughts I have is I hope you all are fucking wrong.
Hey, no, this could be how they bring back Kirk.
No.
All right, that'll wrap it up for our Star Trek news for the week.
Yeah,
That was number 2,
I
guys.
found
Like,
good
you all
ones.
missed number 1, apparently.
I caught number 1.
That'll wrap it up for our Star Trek news for the week. Let's move on to a new release. I don't remember what you guys thought about it, but I really enjoyed Venom, and I've been looking forward to the announcement of the official announcements of the sequel and the trailer released this week. Have you guys seen it? What do you think? Let's go. Let's start with Raina.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. I was one of the ones that was so skeptical about Venom being a good movie, and I loved it. Tom Hardy is fantastic, and this whole trailer, I just love how they roll with it right when it starts. It's fantastic how they did it because they went from just pure comedy, and I love that they're pulling things from the first movie as running jokes in this one, and then it goes into serious tones, but at the same time, like, the way they pace it is it just works for it because it has you laughing, and then you have, by the time you're at the end of it, you're like, oh, I'm definitely interested. Because I thought Venom was going to be one note, but this really has an opportunity to like do something more with it. And with this supposed connection to Morbius and all that, and then Morbius tying into Spider-Man and all that, they could really do some interesting stuff. I'm curious to see where they take it.
Greg.
Oh, I absolutely loved Venom myself. I'm definitely looking forward to Carnage. Just the whole him cooking Eddie breakfast and going yummy. I will say this, Tom Hardy, you can't sing. But I love the whole rules, no killing people or no eating people, I think it was. I'm really looking forward to Andy Serkis's directing debut, as the first movie he chooses to direct is somebody with internal conflict. As the man who created and played Gollum, it's like, no, now you got someone who really has a split personality to direct a film like this.
Serkis was directing this.
Yes, he is. This is his directorial debut.
Outstanding. Definitely a step up from Snoke.
Yeah. As Tom Hardy being the best Bane we had in Dark Knight Rises, now we've got him as one of the best anti-heroes next to Deadpool. So it's really going to be interesting. And honestly, Woody Harrelson is a dream pick to play Cletus Cassidy as Carnage. He just has that disgusting humor villainy about him. And if he doesn't eat a Twinkie, I'm going to be pissed.
Nice. Son.
Sadly, I don't care about Marvel films anymore. I'm done with superhero movies. I'm done with villain superhero
movies. It's an
movies.
anti-hero movie, though.
I'm done. I don't even look. I haven't even watched the third fucking Deadpool movie. I'm done with Marvel, and I like the Deadpool series.
There's only 2.
There's 3 Deadpool movies.
Okay, Once Upon a Deadpool is the PG-13 version of Deadpool.
Oh wait, she's talking about I know what she's talking about. The first Deadpool movie is actually X-Men Wolverine Origins.
Oh.
We try to forget that here on the podcast, but it seems
this is why I won't let you forget that I'm done with Marvel movies.
But that doesn't exist anymore, remember? Wade Wilson went back in time and took care of that.
You're right. Canonically, you're right.
I haven't seen any of those other Deadpool movies, so there you go.
Deadpool's worth it for Colossus alone.
You know what? Can we just give a shout out to Mrs. Chen, who's back?
Yes.
Honestly, at this point, the only thing I care about in the Marvel universe with Venom is the fan shipping of Gwen Stacy and Venom. That's all I care about.
Oh boy.
Yeah, exactly, Justin. Exactly. That's all I care about. Consensual Gwenom is a thing on the internet. Don't go look it up.
Guess what I'm doing, son?
God damn it.
My thing is though, as I'm just a little disappointed Morbius wasn't released before Carnage like it was supposed to be. So there's gonna be kind of a couple hit and misses, like there was a Falcon Winter Soldier, us being introduced to Val when the bigger reveal was in Black Widow. So that's gonna be kind of probably what we might think of. And they say Venom's not in the MCU, but if it's gonna connect to Morbius, then it is in the MCU. But probably multiverse theory will kick in and go from there.
I actually have a really hot take conspiracy on this, and I know that there's probably going to be people who disagree with me.
Travis.
But I think these movies are in the MCU, not completely yet, but I think Doctor Strange, I think this whole pulling old Spider-Man and all that into these films is going to be the connective tissue for it. I do believe that the Tobey Maguire references are intentional. I do believe that 100%. They weren't some placeholder. I don't think they were.
I would agree with you, but we did just sit through WandaVision. And they pulled a lot of red herrings on us.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, but what I'm saying is with, I think Marvel knows we're so used to them doing this. I wouldn't be surprised if they want us to think that, though. This is one of those mystery projects, like even like the whole connection to the Vulture and Morbius. Like that's not an accident. And now we know that it's confirmed that Venom and Morbius are going on simultaneously. That's not coincidence.
And the thing
it's just not.
And the thing in Morbius, I know they're probably changing because it's probably for the trailer, but Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is pictured in Morbius. So it could be the whole, like I said, like they're putting out Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. It's probably going to end up tying this all in after No Way Home.
But you know what's funny? But here's another thing that I've noticed. In the Morbius movie, they're referencing Tobey Maguire. In the Venom movies, they're actually referencing Andrew Garfield. Ravencroft is in there, where they house all the villains from the Andrew Garfield movies. And it looks exactly the same if you look at it from the outside.
Let's rewind. Justin, you haven't given your thoughts on the trailer yet.
Absolutely fucking loved it. I hope this is the start of the crossover. Because, you know, it'd be good to see Deadpool back eventually. But it's just, yeah, I love it. I can't wait.
All right. Any final thoughts on the trailer itself?
I haven't seen it.
What?
I have not seen it. I have not seen the teaser. I watched the first Venom movie. It was passé for me. Like, I don't look. I don't see what so many of you see in that movie. I really don't.
Lane, slap him.
Lane hit him.
Lane agrees with me on this one. Lane agrees with me on this one.
No, he doesn't because he's
silent right now.
He's silent.
Like,
and
I was trying to get the third.
Don't know Lane as well as I do. God,
he talks dirty about you whenever you're not around. Yes,
if I can add anything to this before we move to the next segment, it's got to be. I just loved all the Easter eggs from the first Venom movie to just Spider-Man references in general. They were galore in this thing. For such a short trailer, they really knew how to edit it just right.
No, you can't eat Mrs. Chen.
The nostalgia button is very many pushed. It's almost broken. It's pushed so much.
Oh boy, yes it is.
It's on auto fire.
I was trying to get the third stop it out of Travis when I said Tom Hardy played the best Bane we ever had in Dark Knight Rises, but it didn't work.
If it's on auto fire,
need to see Dark Knight Rises. So
if it's on auto fire, Ross,
what?
Revolver Ocelot already knows.
I started the movie.
Wait a minute. You have not seen Dark Knight Rises.
I started the movie. I started the movie, but it was 11 o'clock at night, and we got maybe 45 or 60 minutes in, and I was falling asleep, and I was like, I can't do it right now. And
guys, this is correctable. Calm down.
I tie him down in a chair and holding his eyelids open and making him watch it.
You guys.
This isn't a Clockwork Orange, Justin. Stop it.
You guys.
You kidnapped Lane.
Trailers.
You guys. You guys
Speaking of trailers, we got the new trailer for Superman and Lois, their new episode coming out soon, Broken Trust. Have you guys seen it?
Yes, and I'm glad they're starting back up. I really like Superman and Lois so far. They've done a really good job. You know, it's. I'm glad they're taking it in different directions than the other show because I don't know if anyone's watching The Flash or any of the Flash, but yeah, they.
Well, they have to take it in another direction. It's not this is a team coming into their superhero own. It's this is a couple who's literally trying to hang on to whatever the hell they have left.
This is true, and they play it well. I mean, they make it where it's not campy, so they try to make it feel like what would really happen if a couple like this was in this situation. They're trying to do it as realistic as possible, and I think it adds a little something that the other CW shows lack right now. Because the other CW shows are in fantasy land. Yeah, Barry with his Bane camp in the back, prepping him on for each battle. Then you have, I think
the CW DC verse might actually be coming to a close because Arrow's done. The Flash isn't doing that great. Yeah, Superman and Lois is going to be like their saving grace, but it's just like I think it's starting to wind out because after the whole Crisis on Infinite Earths, it's like, and we're still going.
The
Black Lightning
universe as we knew it is coming to an end, but not to get too ahead of ourselves.
I don't know that Earth 2 exists again,
and that these shows taking place on Earth 2 are getting renewed.
Yeah, Stargirl's already been renewed. Let's see, did they also renew Legends of Tomorrow again?
And Kung Fu.
And Kung Fu. I have not watched that yet.
What else takes place on Earth 2? Robert Pattinson's Batman.
Yes.
I don't know if it's going to be the same Earth 2, though.
Just for my own sanity, can we call it Earth 2-3, please?
How about Earth 2.5? Earth 2.5. How's that?
Earth 2.
Oh, okay, here. We'll call it Battlefield Earth.
We'll call it no. You're never speaking of that goddamn movie ever again.
I like how quickly.
No.
I like how he seemingly finds ways to remind me of things I've been trying years to forget.
I broke Ross.
What did I miss now? What did I miss?
Damn it. Don't ever bring up Battlefield Earth.
Son was talking about calling Earth to the CW verse. Can we just call Earth 23? We'll call it Earth this. I'm like, let's call it
No.
Earth.
I don't mean Earth 23. I literally mean Earth 2, TAC 3.
Oh.
You guys are talking about shit I have no idea what is.
Stargirl got renewed. That's what we were saying.
Well, congratulations, Stargirl. I have never seen your show.
My God. It's a wonderful show.
I'm sure
Any show where a woman handles a rod is a great show.
Oh, God.
And she handles the shiny rod quite well.
I'm just going to say.
You need to have a hi-yo sound effect. Come on.
Yes.
Don't give him ideas, Ross.
Yes, you do.
The only thing
now.
The only thing I'm looking forward to the CW is for them to ruin more of my childhood. I'm actually excited about this Powerpuff Girls show. Like, I didn't think like I would. Like, it was like, this is going to be so stupid. And then it was like, they're gritty and they're sick of where they've come from. And they've regret. I'm like, oh my God, I hate dark shit usually, but this looks wonderful.
I hope they change their uniforms. The uniforms are too cartoon accurate, and I'm just like, no, change the uniforms.
Oh my God, I know.
It's the Powerpuff Girls, the real Michael Jackson.
You know what? You had brought up what I just.
Oh my God.
Kirkley, you just brought up what I had been talking about. I was like, I really hope that they start with the uniforms, go, God, I hate this, and just make it so dark.
Yes. Yeah.
I really do.
It'll probably be about as dark as Riverdale, so it's lighthearted moments with cannibalism occasionally.
Oh my God.
Like, that's how I feel like with the DC shows on CW. It's like they're all running together so intensely that I'm just sick of every one of them. Like, I don't know what it is. But like stuff like that where they're going to ruin my childhood. Okay, at least it's fresh. Damn it.
Their biggest sin is that none of them crossed over with Supernatural.
But they did cross over with Lucifer.
And Scooby Doo.
Yep.
They did no.
I
They
was in for
technically
the long run.
They did
Supernatural
cross-
did the Scooby Doo crossover.
They did cross over the DC universe with Supernatural. The car was there.
The Impala was
yeah.
there.
The
Yeah.
Impala was there.
Yeah, and I want to get that removed because I was in that ride too long, and I regret every single moment of it.
And they also
My wife
was
has one.
in
She loves
Legends
it.
of Tomorrow. They were also Supernatural car was in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yes, we just mentioned that.
All right. Moving on from the CW, but continuing with our superhero train. Jupiter's Legacy debuted on Netflix. Have you guys gotten a chance to watch it yet?
Damn it! No, I wanted to. I was doing my homework for the Bad Batch.
Okay, let's roll this over into next week when we actually get a chance to watch it because
I have no interest in watching Percy Jackson next. That's what this looks like to me.
Nathan Fillion is not Hermes in this, so it's not Percy Jackson.
All right. One of my most anticipated stories of this week is that Netflix gave us a first look at their reboot of Masters of the Universe. And the art looks incredible. And I did not link it in. I didn't actually link it in Trello. Hang on. Hang on.
It was in Trello.
The story was.
Oh.
I missed the link. I copied the link to the comic book tie-in to the reboot made by the outstanding artist Stefan Sejic, if I pronounced that correctly.
I know. I'm saying this because we all love bashing them. I don't know why they pop up, but we got this cover popped up on my Facebook. It's all Masters of the Universe movie in the works. I'm like, man, they did not check with Netflix, did they?
So the only way that this is going to be like a true revisualization or whatever the hell of Masters of the Universe, the only way that this will be complete is if they have Fisto.
You know what? I'm actually looking at the art right now. It's fantastic.
It really is.
It's wonderful. Holy cow. And I have no interest in it usually, but I may just watch it just to see how this plays out. The art is really nice.
And to remind you just how epic this show is going to be, Mark Hamill is playing Skeletor.
Oh, nice.
Lena Headey
is
Evelyn.
Ooh.
Who?
Chris Wood, who was not Jor-El, Mon-El in Supergirl, is Prince Adam / He-Man. Sarah Michelle Gellar is Tila.
Yeah, the hottest vampire slayer out there.
Liam Cunningham, who was the Onion Knight in Game of Thrones, I forget his actual name, is Man-at-Arms.
Wait, there was a guy in Game of Thrones called the Onion Knight?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The fuck did that turn into a D&D campaign?
He smuggled food into a castle siege and ended up saving them because of that. And it was mostly onions.
That name sounds like something you would find in a D&D siege.
Yes, it was.
Game of Thrones.
Let's see. Stephen Roots from The Office is Cringer. Like Battle Cat. Let's see. Diedrich Bader, Office Space, Napoleon Dynamite, as both King Randor and Trapjaw. He was the next door neighbor.
So no Dolph Lundgren.
No Dolph Lundgren. Let's see. Griffin Newman from The Tick and Vinyl as Orko. He played Arthur in The Tick. Tiffany Smith. Harry and Meghan becoming royal and supernatural as Andra. Kenny Rollins, Alan Oppenheimer, Susan Engelberg, Alicia Silverstone is Queen Marlena. Justin Long is Roboto. Jason Mewes.
Justin Long is Roboto.
Stinkor. Phil Lamar is Hero.
Completely honest with you, Ross.
Tony Todd as Scareglow.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Well, it's all in the.
You know what? They actually missed a call.
I'm actually surprised. Like, this has got some really big names attached to it. Holy
Honestly,
cow.
Lee Suver, Kevin Mitchell, Kevin Conroy. Guess who Kevin Conroy's playing?
Oh, I gotta watch it now. If
Merman.
Kevin Conroy's doing, I don't. What's the thing? I don't care. If he's playing anybody, I don't care. I'm watching.
Wait, hold on. I got to say that I am Merman.
Harley Quinn Smith, and that's the cast.
They missed it. They missed a cast call here.
How so?
Bobcat Goldthwait as Cringer.
Oh.
Now, instead, they got
I'm okay.
the dude from The Office, or Office Space.
I noticed.
Set the building on fire.
My swing line stapler.
My stapler.
You hit my stapler. Talk about your old "you're the man now" dog memes.
So, in between the art and the cast, this is going to shape up real nice next to what they did with She-Ra.
Okay, so Justin, because I have both Twitch and the YouTube stream open at the same time and have the volume turned down as low as I can, I just heard no 3 fucking times.
All right, press F in the chat, everybody.
Justin, where's the heyo sound effect?
He doesn't have it yet.
Well, moving on to other topics of Mystic Swords of Power, we've got some Star Wars news. Starting off with an interview with David Filoni about the upcoming Mandalorian Season 3, in which he says the Force will be strong. Of course, he's speaking favorably about Mandalorian Season 3. In an interview with Good Morning America. So, Mando Season 3. I'm excited. Are you guys?
Mandalorian Season 3, the taking back of Mandalore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, I would. That's a story that they really got to go with, and him and Bo-Katan are going to fight.
Oh, of course they are.
I'm curious to see what they'll do with it. I mean, like, I enjoy The Mandalorian. I know I don't exactly gush over it on this show, but I mean,
okay.
You know what he could do? You know what he could do for Season 3? And it's probably a legitimate thing he could do. Like, he works with Bo-Katan, they take back Mandalore, and at the end of it all, he's like, fuck it, I'm a Mandalorian, you rule. And pieces out with the sword.
He tried that. She won't take it from him.
No. He tried to give her the sword to rule. Once he's conquered Mandalore, he literally runs the planet. He can order any fucking thing he wants. He can make her the ruler.
But she wouldn't take it.
Yeah, he can appoint her his whatever the hell.
Here,
and then the rest of the Watch shows up and proclaim him to be the Mandalore and begin worshiping him like a god king.
Okay, bear with me. Mandalorian Season 3, The Search for Grogu.
All right. You brought this on yourselves, everybody. Down the hatch.
He's drinking
He just took a shot of Fireball on the show.
I didn't realize he had one of those little liquor cabinets from a hotel in his room.
No, I don't have a liquor cabinet in here. Oh, God.
You're right, he doesn't. It's Lane's.
Oh my God! Look at what Justin has.
It's just a little like.
It comes in boxes that big, Justin. It really does.
It comes in bigger ones.
That's from Sam's Club or Costco right there.
No, it's just a little.
You're muted,
I
Justin.
Just got a little party pack thing.
Walmart.
Oh my God.
No, I actually want to go to a Cheetos factory and walk out with one of those big, huge fucking trash bags of crunchy Cheetos. Because then I'll be getting my money's worth.
Mandalorian Season 3, honestly, I would love any form of the show going to where Pedro Pascal's Mando is the ruler of Mandalore.
That seems to be the logical end to it. They've taken some serious inspiration from Knights of the Old Republic with the Mandalorians at this point, especially with the idea of the Mandalore, the ruler who never takes off his helmet, doesn't show his face, and is a stoic warrior ruler, warrior king.
Remember, we've still got one other of Pedro Pascal's former clan that we've not seen dead yet. The Armorer.
The Armorer, yeah.
That is true.
So, I mean, she could end up fighting him for it. Who knows? But then there's the Armorer's there. Who I think she might actually still be on the planet. And then who knows how they'll handle Boba Fett, even with his show coming. But he may not. We'll see how Boba handles things.
Oh.
Or she shows up to be his lawmaster.
You know what?
Or
Quick
that.
diversion.
Bo-Katan versus the blacksmith. Hey.
Quick diversion. On the topic of Boba Fett, I personally hope that he does have at least a small arc in the Bad Batch potentially.
He could.
One of the one of the dropped episodes of the Clone Wars that never got finished was, I can't remember the bounty hunter that is kind of an antagonist in the Clone Wars. I can't remember his name.
I know who you're talking about, but
he
I can't
has like that
either.
sombrero. He has like
I forgot his name. I know who you're talking about now.
There was an episode that was never made where he and Boba Fett kind of have a showdown, and Boba Fett kills him. I don't know if this was written later into a novel or whatnot, but I would love to see some closure here potentially. You know, so yeah. Random point there.
Yeah, one more distraction. Where is the damn Obi-Wan show? Come on now, man.
Ewan McGregor just did an interview 2 days ago about that. He's in his Obi-Wan beard and hair, so they're moving along.
I swear, if the show doesn't start with him sneaking up on someone and doing the hello there, I'm going to be really upset. I'm just saying they need to do that.
No, he's going to be looking at sea otters. There's 6 of them.
Oh, no.
No, there are only 4 of them. But he keeps getting told there are 6.
And they're getting slaughtered because of Order 66.
Here's the thing that boggles me the most about the whole hello there thing. They're forgetting the original response to hello there.
I was right there with you, Ross.
My thing with the Obi-Wan show, since Hayden Christensen is returning as Vader, I know we're swinging off topic here, but Ray Park needs to return as Darth Maul for their final fight.
Oh
yes.
Well, he is all over the place as Maul. Maul is one of the most resilient characters in all of Star Wars. But the guy is literally too angry to die.
But Maul's end is against Obi-Wan. They did, I believe, Rebels or Clone Wars?
Rebels.
So bringing it to live action, Maul's end is against Obi-Wan. So it's like, why not let Obi-Wan and Ray Park go at it, or Ewan McGregor and Ray Park go at it one more time?
That story was pretty tied intrinsically to Rebels.
Yeah, that was very much a Rebels story.
You know, honestly, I kind of hope that, I mean, considering that the show is still pretty fresh after what happened on Mustafar and everything, like, it's still far out, but I really hope to see him a little bit haunted by everything that has happened. You know, I don't want him to be happy-go-lucky as he usually is. Like, I kind of want there to be some, oh, man, shit, this happened, you know? Like, I kind of want him to kind of be haunted by that, you know? That wasn't like some small event that happened to him.
I can't wait for the Joan Rivers spinoff.
Cad Bane, thank you, David.
Matrix, I can't keep up.
Oh my god.
But
moving along. In our second bit of Star Wars news this week, apparently, I haven't seen it, but a fan film has made a bit of a splash in the Star Wars community. Bucketheads. Have any of you guys seen it?
Yes, I saw it.
Would you like to tell us a bit about it and what you thought about it?
I mean, it was on a production level. I thought it was actually very well done. I thought it was fun. But oh, did we lose Ross?
No, he's good.
Oh well, but I personally as I was watching this, I had a few thoughts cross my mind, and I couldn't help but really just take a bit of a meh approach to this, because on one hand, I understand why there's a lot of interest in Empire stories and telling stories from the Empire's perspective, but I also kind of have to raise a bit of an eyebrow when people are trying to humanize these factions that are very much based on Nazi Germany. But,
Hashtag the Empire did nothing wrong. Okay, maybe one or two things wrong. Okay, maybe a handful of things wrong. Okay, damn it.
Oh, Jesus.
I see where Travis is going with that.
But I mean, I also, as I was thinking this, I also realized, well, maybe these stormtroopers didn't really realize the true evils of the Empire. That said, I also cringed at lines like "Emperor, save us" and other shit like that. But
well, I mean,
but
Travis. I'm sorry.
But I also but I mean, I can tell that this is definitely a passion project. I can tell that they worked very hard on this. I do believe that they need to do a better job of establishing their characters, because when this one character dies in the very opening minutes and the trooper's like, ah, he screams his name out, like he has this emotional connection. I need to know, I need to feel that emotional connection. I got nothing from it. I get that this is a 12-minute episode and they only have so much time to develop these relationships and bonds between the characters, but they didn't really do much of that at all in this entire episode. And so
what actually annoys the hell out of me with this, and I actually noticed this when I live streamed Battlefront 2 when it came out, that they did that same story in the damn campaign. And it's like they have this realization, oh my god, I'm working for an evil organization. Yeah, when did you figure that out? When they started destroying planets? Or was there some kind of notion before that? Because you were part of that, remember? And I hate when they do that. It's like you're just figuring this out now. Are you kidding me?
From my point of view, the younglings are evil.
Your point of view?
I mean, of all the lines in the prequel trilogy, that's the one that seems like the most corporate. There was a boardroom of people that said, okay, we want him to be like he's turning, but we don't want him to be all that evil, right? What do we say? oh, I know. From my point of view, it's the Jedi who are evil.
That is my favorite line to make fun of in the entire franchise.
Oh, come on.
Certain point of view. Come on.
Travis already knows what my favorite line to make fun of is.
Of course I do.
It's sand. It's coarse and it gets everywhere.
There's just something magical about, from my point of view, the Jedi are evil. There's just something so magical.
But Anakin, you are the Jedi!
Okay, you know what? You guys can say whatever you want, but I, even though I hated those lines the first time I heard them, I can't help but laugh every time they come now. Because they've been memed to death to the point that they're now hilarious. They're so bad they're hilarious.
Have you seen Backstroke of the West yet, Raina?
I did watch it. And you know what? I was laughing so hard my mom actually thought I was having a seizure.
So Raina, we were watching you play Mass Effect today. There was that lady at the fucking bar who was like, look, I'm not just standing here to do nothing and be a pretty face. And it's like, honey, you're a bartender on the Citadel in a probably moderately expensive dress. Your entire job description is to stand there and be fucking pretty.
Oh, I know. I was laughing when you made that comment. Like, is she serious right now?
I shouldn't be laughing at what you just said, Raymond. I really shouldn't be, but
hey, you had a shot. You're laughing at shit right now.
Yes, I'm laughing at shit right now.
And now I'm thinking of my favorite Star Trek quote from Mass Effect. If you haven't noticed, this place is tearing itself apart. Yeah, it's exhilarating, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that scene happened. I actually just played through that before the stream. That part.
From my point of view, Heroes is just a bad person.
Oh, dude.
I thought the part was
Life forms. You tiny little life forms.
Shut up.
You precious little life
Shut up.
forms.
Shut up.
Where are you?
Shut up.
Thank you, Brent Spiner.
No, Mass Effect does that a lot though, where it takes those cringe lines, but they somehow like make it so funny in context of the game with those bad animations sometimes.
The best show of improv in Star Trek history. Brent Spiner's
Like I will say that it is a good bit of improv there. It makes
Hey,
no
Ross.
sense in the context of the podcast.
Finally.
There it is.
All right.
15 minutes.
Have we said all we're going to say about Bucketheads?
I'll watch the second episode. They got some work. I can tell that it's a passion project. I can tell that they put a lot of work into it. Writing just needs to be a little bit better for me personally.
Is it a show or a movie?
It's a fan film. It's on YouTube. Go look up Bucketheads.
It gets 5 younglings out of 10.
And they don't have any patches.
But they do have biscuits.
Well, everybody has biscuits.
All right. Moving along into the tail end of the show. This week, I was very, 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 very excited to hear an announcement from Adult Swim that they are releasing 3 new feature-length films. A second Aqua Teen Hunger Force film.
I thought they'd already made one. Yeah.
Yes, they have made one. The Venture Brothers are getting a film. And, most excitingly of all, Metalocalypse. Yeah.
I have all 3 albums of this band, god damn it. Like all 3
Oh
deluxe
man,
editions.
I thought it was the only one.
Look,
Deluxe
Brendan-
editions.
Brendan Small is just a
Wait,
fucking
wait, wait,
genius. Let's be
Yes, he
honest.
is.
If anybody,
Travis?
if anybody deserved a full-length featured film, it's the dude who made the home movie series.
Travis.
Hard to believe he
Travis.
went from home movies to Metalocalypse.
No,
Oh,
it's
yes,
not.
Justin.
He started a death metal band in between it.
You have all of
That's
those.
what the series is about. He
Travis,
started a
you have
death metal band and then started a cartoon about it.
Travis, you
Yes,
have all of those, and you have not watched the Batman trilogies.
Damn.
Justin, we all walk different paths in life. It's okay.
I grew up like
See,
Metalocalypse.
I love Ross being the Jedi of the group.
Metalocalypse.
Ross is a Sith.
Metalocalypse.
No, my wife is the Sith.
Oh,
I hope she's not watching tonight.
We're not
She
talking
would
about
agree with me. She's a
We're not-
Slytherin. Travis, sorry to interrupt. Please continue.
Go ahead, Travis. Yeah, sorry.
Metalocalypse to me was one of my personal favorite pastimes of high school. Like, I didn't even have cable growing up, so when I got a chance to watch Metalocalypse, when I was very much beginning my metalhead phase of music, I was on board. Now, I am going to go ahead and say that the show probably hasn't aged the best in terms of a few
That's an understatement.
topics and whatnot, but you know what? In terms of the music, it is just absolutely glorious. Like, if there is anything to take away from Metalocalypse, it is that it has some fucking talent when it comes to making great metal music. Like, I'm not a big, yes, I am not a big death metal guy, but goddamn, like Death Clock, I saw them fucking live and it was brilliant, and I cannot wait to see just how they finally bring some fucking closure to the show that I have been waiting on for years now, because, like, as fun as the Doomstar Requiem was, it was not a finale, and I don't think Adult Swim understood that back then. And to see Brendan Small get robbed of that final 5th season, oh man, like the fact that they're like that they're finally getting a movie, like, even if it's not exactly like the best thing ever, I'm just happy that they're gonna get some fucking closure.
Are you about to cry?
I was about to cry.
Dude.
So
Dude.
I have a George theory.
Uh-oh.
So in a parallel universe, Metalocalypse exists in the Marvel universe, and so the Thanos snap never affects Earth.
Oh god!
Stop it.
You know,
There it is, number 3.
I need to say, first of all, Death Album 2 is the best of those albums.
I like the third one better.
Get out of here.
No, the third one is much better.
Two is the best.
No, third is better.
And
Children.
second,
The drums
Children.
on number 3 kick ass.
and second, it's about time Adult Swim starts doing this, because they just did this with Samurai Jack, and it was worth the wait.
Oh hell yes, it was with Samurai Jack.
And
oh
all
my
I'm
god!
gonna say is, if they do this for all the shows that they've canceled, even if they're terrible movies, people that have just want some closure are gonna go see it.
I would
say that
absolutely
Could you
watch a
gu-
C-Lab 2021 movie.
Could you guys?
Right?
Okay,
Thank you.
So
Finally,
so
someone says it.
Date yourself without actually telling us when you were born. Metalocalypse, Aqua Team, Hunger Force.
So, what do you think the chances are of them actually going back and making some kind of something that makes even better sense than what we got out of Big O's American Transition?
Oof.
Money.
That was a very rough finale.
When it comes to, sorry, I was going to touch base on Aqua Teen.
Come
when
on.
it comes to Aqua Teen Hunger Force getting another movie, this is the one I'm personally most skeptical about. Now, I need to go on the record and say that I absolutely love Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and I am very, very pissed that the final seasons are still not on DVD. Like, you have no fucking idea just how much I have been waiting for those final seasons to just get a home physical release, please. But the finale, like, as sad as I was to see Aqua Teen Hunger Force go, the finale that they brought forth for this show was absolutely beautiful. It's gonna sound silly coming from me right now. Like, shut up, Greg. I know.
No,
I'm a
it's
little
not.
tipsy
You're
right
inebriated.
now. Yes, I know I'm inebriated. No.
Travis
The fireball.
Look, guys, like, you need to understand that when I saw that half-hour episode of Aqua Teen, I was nearly brought to tears, and that's not even the true finale. The true finale of that show is, like, it could be thrown into the middle of any other show, like any other season of this show, and it would make just as much sense. And that was probably what makes that finale beautiful.
We already know what the true ending of Aqua Teen Hunger Force is, and that's Space Cates.
Ba-da-da-da.
You know, do you guys notice that about Adult Swim, though? That their curse doesn't just extend to their own properties, but anime that's been on there has done the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Dead
Well,
Man
it's-
Wonderland, Mar,
Well,
Rave Master, Prince of Tennis, none of them got finishes, and it pisses me off
Well,
because
see,
I
that's
love
the-
every single
that's-
one of them.
Well, see, that's what I mean about Big O. Big O, like, stops in the fucking middle because the Japanese canceled it, and then the Americans picked it up to finish it on Adult Swim.
Well, I'll let you know that 12 years later, I'm still salty over Rave Master. I hope you're watching this, Adult Swim exec. I'm very salty over that.
So,
I was invested.
Here's the thing: no one expects to have closure in a full-length feature film. Xavier, the Renegade Angel.
Oh Christ!
I don't know any of these shows.
Yeah, but you know what?
okay,
The memes of that show live on in infamy, though.
How about Venture Brothers? What do you guys think about that?
Venture Brothers. Venture Brothers is a series that actually kind of needs some kind of closure to it. After a while, it just started going off into the weeds, and I'm like, I don't really know how to stay in this show anymore. I mean, like the two goons that you follow all the damn time because you like them being goons, they're suddenly like badasses like Brock Sampson for some fucking reason.
Okay.
And, well, one of them's dead.
Now, wait. Now we're all fans of Adult Swim.
Uh-oh.
Now, what is this from?
Stupid monkey.
Yes,
Robot
I know what that's
Chicken.
from.
Robot Chicken.
Like
You all pass.
Thank you,
The
Seth Green.
The Venture Brothers is a bucket list show for me. This is the one show I have not seen really yet, and that's a bit of a shame because like what little I have seen is fun.
Yeah, the thing is with Venture Bros, I feel like it's the one out of the three that like I don't really need closure, but I appreciate closure for it. Like I don't feel like I'm missing anything without Venture Bros, but it's good enough that it does warrant some kind of closure.
I mean, they seem to be wanting to go back on this kick to revive old shows, so we may see something eventually. You never know.
This must be why the CEO of Cartoon Network has done nothing but rerun Gumball and Teen Titans Go, so they could throw this money at Adult Swim.
No offense, but the moment they made Teen Titans Go, I questioned my insanity because I watched all of the original Teen Titans, and that also did not have closure.
And you know what's really weird about Teen Titans Go? It actually kind of works.
Yeah, because they had a crossover with the other Teen Titans on one of the episodes.
Another thing that got shafted so early, like it had a lot of good seasons, but I actually really liked the writer was Regular Show because it was like adult cartoon. I love that show. The references in that show, the characters, it's hilarious.
Even that got a movie.
Are you serious? Oh,
yeah, Regular Show, the movie. It is my guilty pleasure.
I gotta watch this.
And apparently,
oh, he froze.
He's a volleyball player.
Adult Swim is canceling him.
I hear that one more time. Lane's going to bed.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No.
Am I fixed? Am I back?
You're back now.
You're back.
Okay. But yeah, it's an excellent movie.
Well, now that I know it exists, I got to go watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You would.
So the synopsis is for that. The Aqua Teen Hunger Force movie will serve as a continuation of the hit animated series created by Matt, I don't know how to pronounce that name, and Dave Willis, which follows the strange everyday lives of three anthropomorphic fast food items living in New Jersey. It will chronicle the adventures of Frylock, Meatwad, and Master Shake, who consider themselves crime fighters, despite the fact they never actually fight crime. So pretty ambiguous.
Yeah.
Metalocalypse's feature-length endeavor will be helmed by the original series creator Brendan Small and Tommy Blanca. It picks up directly after the heroic rescue of Toki Wartooth, Deathclock's rhythm guitarist, to see whether the band can choose between their egos or the greater good of the world to embark on a gauntlet of dangers to try their very souls and finally write their salvation song.
And that better
I can't wait.
Fucking ass.
I'm sorry, I can't wait because at first I didn't like it, but Aqua Teen became a quick favorite. So I'm hoping this does it justice, because if not, I will riot.
I'm actually really glad Carlos isn't here tonight. We would never be able to talk about this shit if he was here.
Yeah,
exactly.
Fuck you, Carlos.
And the Venture Brothers will now be finding out if Doc's latest invention will make or break them. As Hank searches for himself, Dean searches for Hank, the Monarch searches for answers, and a mysterious woman threatens to bring their world crashing down around them.
It's Dr. Girlfriend.
All right, so a lot of fun stuff to look forward to from Adult Swim. I love those guys and everything they do, even their weird, fucked up live action stuff that's really only good if you're sober.
How you think you?
It's not even good if you're sober.
You have to be
That
drunk
guy
or
stuck in
high.
internet.
Adult Swim, I implore you, call Japan. Please make them finish things that they're not finishing. I'm begging you. I need a conclusion to Dead Man Wonderland and Rave Master.
Our
Too long.
Our last news topic for tonight is the latest revival of MST3K, another Kickstarter after their last incredibly successful one that broke records, that was only surpassed by Critical Role, has surpassed other records again, raising $6.4 million for 13 more episodes.
Yes.
Hell yes. I thought, we were going to
It made how much?
It made 6.4.
It's made even more money.
As of reporting, it's probably made a whole lot more now. Let's see. We scroll down to
Last one
it.
it was about a couple million less than this, wasn't it?
6.5. So $6,519,000 or $6,519,019 so far.
Mr. Consider is good, but it's not $6.5 million good.
About 36,581 people disagree with you.
Oh God!
Yep, I donated $150 to this, and I have no regrets. I absolutely am I am so happy that this Kickstarter was a success. I understand that they do have a bit more of a challenge here. They are trying to build their own platform, and this could backfire. Like, it might not work out in the long run, but you know what? I am very, very happy that they are at least getting that chance. That they are they are at least getting the chance to say, like, look, we can still do this. We can still entertain you. We can still be funny. Like, I know that not everybody likes the Netflix revival of MST3K. I personally really liked what they did with it. They could do things better. They could do a few things better. But I thought, like as I kept watching, the new voices started to grow on me. I really liked, Jonah, and I went and saw these guys live twice. Like, these guys have grown to be a part of the MST3K. If you want to call it lore, call it that. Like, they're in the mythos, and I think they do a fantastic job. And I cannot wait to see just what these guys continue to heckle to death. And
wow,
like,
drunk Travis is
Awesome.
sober Carlos.
And I can't tell if that's an insult or a.
It's a little bit of both, because I have never seen you both so concise and use just so weird flowery language in how you're saying stuff.
I just like
he's very distinct.
I'd like to point out I'm the reason Travis drank tonight.
Thank you.
Don't get used to this, guys. Don't get used to it. Don't get used to it.
Look, we had to have somebody get drunk to replace George, right?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of us are not drinking like George. George, oh my God, when he used to do a show drunk, it was going to be a comical fest.
There's a
he would have the
we actually lost one episode because he was so drunk one time. It was not good.
He would have a box of wine and sit it on his desk next to his computer and refill it during the show.
Well, for what it's worth, I hope I don't get crazy.
I mean,
I don't intend to.
We can't. We really can't say that about George, because Ross did the same thing.
He did.
I said, don't get used to this, guys. Please don't get used to it.
No, we're not used to it. It's just new and exciting, and we kind of love it. We wish we could see more of it.
because getting you to outburst is some of the funniest parts of this show, and it's really quite enjoyable, especially when we get you to scream. Whenever we can get you scream, stop it.
Yes.
as a goal of every show, at least 3 stop.
Honestly, I'm pretty happy I haven't gotten an angry text from one of my roommates right now.
See, Travis, here's the thing. You saying stop it is our Spock eyebrow.
It's one of our show memes.
Yes.
Well,
And now
I'm glad
that
to
we
keep
got
giving.
this, I'm making a sound button. So enjoy.
You're making a sound button of what?
You saying stop it.
No, don't.
We have remember,
It's not-
Justin. See, we've talked about wanting a fresh, clean record of it. You still have an entire fucking catalog of episodes to go back and find one.
Yeah, you
no.
could,
One for each
but
scenario.
the thing is, it's just not the same.
Oh, and no,
There needs
can-
to be. You
No,
can't just
it's-
push a button and get the magic of a stop it. You just
yes, you
can't.
can. Did you not
Oh,
just
yes,
hear
man.
him do Darth Vader?
That is.
Did you hear Justin?
Blaine, go to
The
bed.
magic of Darth Vader in a meme, right there at the push button.
And see, touching on what Son is saying about the whole stop it thing, is Justin could go and get like 8 stop its, one for each of us during the podcast.
And then you all play in unison.
All right, that's enough teasing. Let's wrap this up and get to our final topic of the night. You know it, you love it, you want to hear it. What are we watching? Let's start with our guest host, Greg.
I'm actually excited. I started watching it after you guys talked about it. Invincible. I saw the first episode yesterday, and I sat there and I'm like, I saw the warnings: graphic violence, sexual content, swearing. I was like, awesome, The Boys, but animated. But so I went and watched the show. I like the premise and this and it, but the whole show, I shit you not, where's the gore? Where's the violence? Until Omni-Man goes in and just absolutely obliterates the rest
I
of the
was
team.
the
I'm like,
exact same way.
my girlfriend and I were watching it. Our 16-month-old son was watching it. And
Oh, no.
Oh, this is the kid that cheers when Thanos snaps.
Oh, okay. Oh, look, you broke Travis.
No, he didn't break Travis. He almost killed him.
Fun fact, we watched Infinity War after he was born, and he was about 10 months old. When Thanos walks in and starts whipping everybody's ass, he started smiling and dancing. But anyway, back to Invincible. The whole show, I'm like, where's the blood, guts, and gore? And as soon as he starts whipping on the team, I'm like, oh, fish guts. Oh, she got smashed. It's like, it was great. I loved it. I love that J.K. Simmons is Omni-Man, fits in perfectly. The voice cast is really well done. I knew Steven Yeun right off the bat was Invincible. So I'm really looking forward to finishing out the series and be like, okay, so we have a soup who has his powers and is wanting to do good, and his dad is now, from my point of view, secretly evil. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm hooked on the show.
Yeah, once you get on, it's not so secret. Have you seen the part where he drags the old lady on the ground?
He's only seen the first
I haven't
episode.
seen any of this yet.
Yeah.
Oh,
So first episode, I'm hooked on it, and that's what I'm going to be finished watching.
okay. You will enjoy it. You will quite well enjoy it. It definitely gets more gory and more graphic as you go. So, yeah.
Thank you, Commander Kirkley. I just had an idea for a brand new food podcast.
Oh,
The
God.
Super Geeks.
You're not getting another one out of me.
Oh, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
Good job.
Done?
Oh, you told me once.
Good job.
So I was going to
Good
mention
job.
that
That was a good one.
I was going to mention that the next episode of Nebula 75 came out. But something happened over the weekend. Something rather spectacular happened over the weekend. And it was called Saturday Night Live.
Oh God!
And they had on this guest, this
Inventor.
super villain type guy called Elon Musk or something like that.
Elon Musk. Yes, he's an inventor.
And apparently there's a skit for Saturday Night Live where he plays fucking Wario. It is. I have not laughed at Saturday Night Live so fucking hard in years.
You killed Ross.
You killed Ross.
Years to tell you that.
I'm morbidly curious.
You killed Ross.
Go back, Travis. Go back on YouTube. Look it up. You'll see it. It's great.
I
will.
have the link.
Oh dear
right
God!
now.
Ross,
Breathe, Ross.
okay?
Breathe.
Breathe. You need life support.
You know what? You know what? You guys might say that Drunk Travis is the highlight of the show, but this is my true highlight right here because I don't think he's been. I don't think I've seen his face now for about a minute. He's laughing that hard.
Okay.
Well, see, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I forcefully shared this with Ross. I killed him when he watched it. He's killing himself.
Shared this with me. She shared the clip of a reaction with me. So how did you go hunting for it myself? Well,
yeah, no, I shared that too. But I shared the clip with everybody in the server that we talk about before the show. And then I shared the clip of the person we were talking about before the show reacting to my talking about it during one of her live streams.
There he is.
There he is.
Ross lost his fucking mind.
Ross.
Clear. Clear.
Breathe. Come back to us, Ross.
I'm alive. Okay.
You don't sound alive, man.
If I wasn't alive, I wouldn't be speaking.
You don't sound alive.
Come on,
I don't know. People without life do an awful lot of talking these days. Usually to vote.
I feel like that's a passive insult towards me. Are you attacking me?
No! We have plenty of life. It's Lane who I'm worried about voting in the next election.
Lane? What does he have to do with this?
Because he's not alive.
What?
What? Lane is alive. He's asleep.
He put Lane in on his potty, so he's a little busy right now.
For someone being stuffed and mounted, he sure likes to vote a lot.
So it wasn't just the skit itself that got me so out there.
Okay,
it was
so
also
the
reactions.
Her reaction was Elon Musk is Wario. What?
Justin, what do you watch this week?
Or
wait, Greg, were you finished?
No, I'm good. I was on Invincible. I'm good.
Travis, you go next.
Who's going
next? You're the next victim.
You're up, Travis.
I'm up next.
You're the victim. Yes.
Well, I could say that for Disney Roulette, we watched Old Yeller.
Oh, crazy.
And I could tell you that I actually had a shot for that, and I heckled the shit out of that movie. I have never, look, for the record, I did not cry when we read the book in school. I have never cried at that movie. If we want a book that actually, shut up. If you want a book that actually,
we straight told you to shut up.
It wasn't a stop it. It was a shut up.
If you want a book that actually destroyed me emotionally, it's Where the Red Fern Grows. All right, that book
that would do it.
Destroyed me. Like that, I couldn't. I was standing in a lunch line after we finished reading that in school, bawling my eyes out. Like I was just. But look, I'm not going to talk about it.
Okay, you know what? Here's a funny story about that book. My whole class, I remember being in school. The whole class read that book. Half the kids in the class were crying. The other kids were depressed. I sat there. I'm like, that's it.
Pretty much that's how I am. Like when it comes to Old Yeller, like it's like okay, whatever. Like, but what I watched this week that I actually want to talk about. How many of you are familiar with a web series called Epic NPC Man?
Nope.
Nope.
Justin is aware of it.
Sounds like something I'd be into, but I haven't heard of it.
Epic NPC Man is basically it's a series of roughly 2 to 3 minute videos where these guys parody tropes of fantasy video games. There's a lot of Skyrim humor, like Skyrim-esque humor, I should say, and
I think I know what you're
whatnot.
talking about.
Chances are you may have seen at least 1 or 2 videos. These are very, very well done. They are very funny. I personally love them every time they come out. They have like weekly or bi-weekly releases. The guys behind these actually do like they make fun of PUBG and other fun stuff as well. They've got Dark Souls season 2 coming out soon. But not too long ago, they had a Kickstarter for a 30-minute video.
I'm putting it in chat now.
On the Epic NPC Man, and this was called Balin's Root. Now, Balin is a recurring character in Epic NPC Man, and his running gag is he only has one line of dialogue, and that is "Morning, nice day for fishing, ain't it?" And he's just this peasant, and he carries around a fishing rod. And
Okay, yes, I know what you're talking about. Yes,
and these guys put out they had a Kickstarter for a 30-minute movie, and it released this week, and I watched it. And while I do believe that there were some areas where they could have touched up upon a bit better, it was a very, very heartfelt project that you could tell they spent a lot of time on, and it was very well done. The only major criticism I have of this movie is that I personally thought that they kind of dropped the player character a little too fast. I thought he was actually going to come back towards the end and present Balin with another challenge before the movie ended. But that didn't happen, and I was wondering, they were kind of hinting that he might come back. But yes, for what it was, I thought it was very well. What's that?
Enjoyable. I liked it too. That's what I was going to pick up in my what I was watching too.
But yeah, like for what it was, like I thought it was very, very well done. You could tell that there was a lot of heart in this project, a lot of fun in this project. The acting was actually really surprisingly well done in a lot of these scenes. And I mean, you can tell, like, if you binge the Epic NPC Man miniseries from start to finish, which you can do. I mean, they have a playlist, and they're all available on YouTube.
And they also compile their seasons together in one very long video at the end of each season.
If you like, you can tell, like, the budget has gone up. People have started to take notice of these people who are Viva La Dirt League on YouTube. I highly recommend subscribing to them. They are well worth your time. These guys have gone the extra mile in terms of just humor and just poking fun at all the silly jokes that we like to poke fun of in our video games, whether it's PUBG, whether it's Red Dead Redemption, whether it's Skyrim, Zelda, whatever. Like, any trope that exists, they have or will poke fun at it, and they will always find some very fun way of doing it. Yes, Balin's Root was a solid, like, if I were to give Balin's Root a rating, I would give it a solid 8 out of 10. It was I cannot wait to see what else they do with this going forward, because I think they want to try and do a bit more of these longer videos in the future. And if they do, I'll be very curious to see what they do.
Their longer videos are very, very well done. Whenever they actually put it to them, these guys have been together for almost 10 years. They got videos going back good while on this channel, so they know how each other's works, and they've definitely evolved over the years. So I can't wait to see what else they come out with.
It is a series well worth looking into. It is well worth your time.
All right, Justin, what are you watching this week?
Well, other than what we discussed earlier on, I've been doing a lot of gaming. I've started playing Deep Rock Galactic this week, which is dwarves with guns, basically, in a completely destructible environment. It is quite fun. If you ever get a chance to play it, do it.
All right. Well, as for me, several weeks ago, I composed a rhyme about a video that I had watched this week. Games Made of Cardboard released a new video this week. This time, showcasing an homage to Sonic 2 on the original Super Nintendo. He created several different sets, animated it's surprisingly well. Sonic going through all the different levels of the game, the various fights against Dr. Eggman and all the other baddies. It was a really fun and endearing bit of nostalgia. Oddly, though, well, not so much oddly, the creator had several discussions with the viewers and fans about his usual rhyming in his videos. And he felt like in this instance with Sonic, it wasn't as appropriate as it was with the first-person shooters, where he was in more direct agency of his actions. And this time went with a more minimalist bit of narration. I thought it worked pretty well with Sonic. And it was a lot of fun. And thankfully, he's not done making videos like he thought he was last time. He's still inspired to make more, and I'm happy to continue the ride with him. So if you haven't seen it, Games Made of Cardboard at Late Night Reviews. It's a lot of fun.
Okay, good deal.
All right, with that brings us to the end.
Hey, you have skipped over Sun and Rena.
Sun talked about what you watched.
I went
That's
on the
what
whole
killed
thing
me.
about.
Yeah, where
where
did you go?
About what I watched.
Well,
Rena, I
but
apologize for skipping over you.
It's
Please,
okay.
tell us what you watched this week.
I have not been watching a lot of TV or movies. I've been kicking back on YouTube. I've started getting into the fascinating of cut content in games, especially Nintendo stuff. But I actually went down the rabbit hole and watched a documentary of 2 movies that Nintendo was planning on making and canceled. They even had concept art of The Legend of Zelda and Metroid that never got made.
Legend of Zelda is still happening. It's in development hell.
No, this was a movie
That's
that
what
was
I said
actually
about StarCraft Ghost.
Actually, this movie that they were planning on making was supposed to be in development around when Twilight Princess had come out.
Mm-hmm.
And they ended up just scrapping it over and over again. And I guess, but Metroid, the pictures, the art from that movie of what could have been is some of the most impressive stuff I have ever seen.
There is a fan storyboard for their proposed Metroid movie.
No, I know that. There's Some Called Me Johnny has made one.
Right. That I would definitely see Nintendo taking a serious look at to make a movie if they couldn't do one on their own.
And the other thing that I got really into is I started watching Did You Know Gaming videos on the cut content from Pokemon. I've been getting really into the history of those games, and I just started learning about dissecting ROMs and all kinds of things like that. So I've really been getting into that. I've been kind of embracing my Pokemon culture again. I put it aside for a while, and I've always been kind of had a foot still in the door with it, but I'm like really getting hardcore back into it. I started watching the new anime, and I went back and watched the movies I missed, and I actually marathon those the other day.
Oh dear.
New anime? Do you mean like
Pokemon Journeys on Netflix?
Yes.
Wait. There's a Pokemon anime on Netflix.
There's a Pokemon
and
Netflix.
Brand new.
Yes,
It's a
Netflix.
Netflix exclusive.
It's a Netflix exclusive show called Pokemon Journeys.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, everybody. I think this is something I need to play.
It's the one that I dropped
Stop.
after the second season. Yeah.
No.
But there's a lot of fantastic documentaries on there. But I will say that for anything like that, find Did You Know Gaming very credible. I find them really detailed with a lot of their longer documentaries about those things. So definitely give them a check out.
If you're interested, if you're interested in cut content for Fallout New Vegas, check out Triangle City.
Triangle City.
All right. Thank you very much, Raina, and thank you everybody else. Greg, thank you for joining us again. Always glad to have you here. That brings us to the end of today's show.
And holy shit! Before 3 hours and 48 minutes, we are.
I know, right?
Good
This is what
time.
happens.
It's Florida man time.
This is what happens when Carlos doesn't run the show. Oh crap!
Yeah.
Did I say that on live?
But see, here's the thing. So here's the thing. At this point, we actually have documented proof of it happening more than once, so it's not a fluke.
We'll see you guys again next week for more of The Real Super Geeks, where we talk about all the fun, geeky stuff that happens throughout the week. Stay tuned if you stay for our after show, where we talk about all the wild, crazy, and most fucked up Florida man stories that you will see. My name is Ross, and on behalf of everybody here, have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you all again next time. Sun, take us out.
And remember,
Sun, take us out.
Listen for your name, Justin. Damn.
Yeah.
I'm not used to someone saying take it out to someone else other than me. Okay.
Son, give us your full
And
semester.
take us out. And after that.
And remember, you are loved and appreciated by just your being you.
Amen.
Justin, play us out.
And make sure you spay and neuter your plushies.
Fuck you. Ashamed of yourself.
I'm not.
Well, fuck you and
Hey, Travis.
Hello.
Anyway,
I'll start us off.
I'm gonna get myself out of here. Hopefully next week I'm not completely fucked up because I'm
Travis,
getting my second.
Travis,
You got
stay for this one. Just this headline, okay? Okay. Florida man robs bank, then rides home in a taxi cab.
Florida man.
All right. Next week I'm getting my second shot of Moderna, so hopefully I'm.
Oh,
not
you'll really
completely
get
out
that
of it.
Hopefully we'll get your second shot of Fireball too.
Yeah.
Shut up. I'm out of here. You guys. Lane, let's blow this joint.
We drive him to
Have
drink.
fun.
I'm out of here too, guys. I appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun.
See ya.
See ya.
I'm out too, guys. I'm following right behind because I'm
See ya,
dragging out.
Raina.
Night, guys.
All right. And then there was 3.
Okay, so do I need another story?
Yes.
Okay, Florida man's neighborly feud leads to toilets lining Cape Coral Yard.
Florida man. Florida man.
So apparently this dispute has turned to such a thing that a guy legitimately went out and so it's a thing about the guy's lawn, right? His lawn looks shitty. So the guy literally went out and bought fucking toilets to use as pot planters for flowers along his lawn.
Okay.
I got another non-native Florida man. Well, in this case,
Ohio woman.
Kentucky? Oh, Ohio. Okay.
Woman arrested. Ohio woman arrested after hitting Walmart shopper in the face with a 10-pound, quote, log of meat.
What?
So Walmart has those ground beef logs, right?
Yeah, I know. Oh my God.
They've got them in most grocery stores, but yeah. The South Euclid police said in a Facebook post that their officers were dispatched to the chip aisle of a Walmart after they received calls that 2 women had gotten into a physical altercation. But this wasn't the first incident between the two women.
They're smacking each other with their meat.
According to the Post, one of the women had a restraining order out against the other, dating back to when the two lived in the same duplex in University Heights, Ohio. The police did not share details about the restraining order. However, they did explain that the details of the intense fight broke out in the chip aisle. When the two women made eye contact, the first woman threatened to beat the other woman with her seven-year-old daughter. The assailant pulled her mask and attempted to spit in the other woman's face, though she missed. Still upset, the assailant jumped into the victim's shopping cart and hit the woman in the face with a 10-pound log of packaged meat. The assailant was arrested and charged with assault and violation of a temporary protection order. Police shared in the Post that a criminal history check revealed a history of violent behavior, as well as multiple warrants out for her arrest. It was also shared that the assailant had a 5-year-old daughter who was turned over to another family member after her mom's arrest. It is unknown with what initially led to the beef between the two women, the police said. At least with the fun.
Can you imagine getting hit with a 10-pound log of hamburger meat in the middle? Oh my God, that was just...
She's lucky it wasn't frozen.
Oh, could you? Oh, that'd be manslaughter.
But that's a pretty firm but pliable cylinder to get smacked
frozen.
with.
It would be manslaughter.
Stop describing your nethers, Ross.
God damn it.
So here's the next Florida man story. Florida man stabbed with swordfish in fight.
Okay, that deserves this again.
So who's covering the Hummer?
Go ahead.
Justin, wasn't that one yours?
Yeah, but I don't have the link ahead of me. Hang on, I have to look in Discord. All right, so Florida person, it doesn't say if it's a man or woman, left 2 Tupperware containers of gasoline in their Humvee, and as soon as they drove away, it got sparked and caught fire. You heard that right. They put gasoline in Tupperware. Now, how?
Okay. So I knew that America was losing fucking brain cells when we saw like those people in the Chaz putting Mountain Dew in fucking Ziploc bags. It only makes sense that shit would have carried to fucking Florida.
These dumbasses are putting gasoline in trash bags.
Those photos are from several years ago in Mexico.
There was one that was just here.
The ones that have been circulating were old photos.
Well,
I don't know if anyone's actually filling up grocery bags or garbage bags with gasoline, but we do know they're unfortunately filling Tupperware tubs.
I mean, Tupperware.
Gas cans are not that expensive, folks.
So, a Florida woman, an Orlando lawyer and mother, left her kids at home to run an SUV into their father's house.
That sounds like something an Indiana woman would do.
Florida lady.
Florida lady.
Okay. This one I read 3 or 4 different times and I was like, just what? But then I remembered there's an entire Family Guy episode dedicated to something like this.
Oh, God.
Florida woman, 28, posed as student sneaking into high school to promote her Instagram.
Oh, my God. And there's a couple of Family Guy episodes of posting of high school students sneaking in. Oh, my God.
All right, here's a slightly heartwarming one. Florida man jumps into pond, wrestles alligator to save his 8-month-old puppy.
Yep. Saw that one.
Happy
Florida man.
Where's the auto-tune?
Oh, I thought I had it on.
You don't.
No, that just takes the fun out of it. Florida man.
There you go.
I wish you put the
Florida man
soundboard.
jailed after argument turns to enraged violence over Tom Brady dispute.
Florida man, Tom Brady dispute.
Mention Tampa Bay Bucks quarterback Tom Brady to a group of football fans, and you'll likely spar a rousing debate about who's the NFL's GOAT, greatest of all time. Mention Brady to Brian Palter of St. Petersburg, and you'll get punched in the face.
Petersburg man.
Okay, I had to read this article before I was going to say anything about this headline because I was just confused. And I think I shouldn't say anything because it involves children.
Oh, yeah, let's be careful on that one because of Twitch.
Well, see, here's the thing. It's not terrible. It's just really fucking weird.
Yeah.
I think I'm looking at the same article.
Florida man who loves feet moves to another state and keeps loving feet. Okay, so the guy, the reason he loves feet is apparently he's using a form of punishment called pulling kids' toes.
Okay, yeah, that's a little dark.
He was okay. So I had to read this. The guy was born in Dallas, but he moved to Nigeria as a kid and grew up there, and then came back to the United States. And I'm like, okay, that does seem like something another entire other culture would do as a form of punishment, but it's still pretty fucking weird.
Yeah, that's pretty weird.
That's just weird.
Florida man.
Florida woman says cops were called because, quote, her body looked good.
Oh,
A woman was relaxing outside of a hotel pool in Ocala, Florida, when the hotel manager approached her. The hotel manager didn't recognize the guests and asked if she had a room with them. The woman refused to provide a number of the room and stormed off. The manager called the police and wanted the woman arrested for trespassing. The woman in question, 42-year-old Melody Carr, she was located at another nearby hotel with her dog and became verbally abusive when approached by officers. She told the officers that the manager called police because she was jealous that her body looked good in a bikini.
Oh my God. So after the show last week, not even 3 hours after we got through with the show last week, and I'm including the Florida man segment, this story got posted. This story got posted. Florida woman, quote unquote, designated driver, hits parked cars, charged with DUI after empty bourbon bottle found in car.
What?
She was supposed to be their designated driver and drank an entire fucking bottle of bourbon in the fucking car.
Oh my God.
Oh. Dumbasses. Dumbasses all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Here's an alternate headline to the Hummer story. Hoarding gas? Check. Drives a Hummer? Check. Smokes a cigarette in a Hummer filled with hoarded gas? Check.
Hummer goes boom. Check.
No. See, the headline there is like cigarette in a Hummer full of gas. Boom.
or better yet, let me see if I can do this. It's been a long time. I'm gonna do this in the style of Death Clark. Hoarding gas? Check. Drives a Hummer? Check. Smokes a cigarette? That's a smoking car? Check. Damn it.
Come on.
Murder. I can't do death metal.
Well, you sound like a troll from Deep Rock, though. So there you go.
So here's another Matt Gaetz headline.
Oh boy.
Florida man snorted cocaine with escort. One of the 15 plus women he's alleged to have paid for sex.
That was Matt Gaetz?
Mm-hmm.
Florida Senator.
Oh God, I'm gonna get complaints for this one.
Let him complain.
Florida
Okay.
Senator.
There. Oh, okay. Here's a good one. Florida man, anti-masker, dares cop to arrest him. Cops? Okay.
Florida idiot.
I'm pretty sure Florida lifted their mask mandate not long ago. Anyway.
Yes, but individual businesses and properties can still require masks on their property. And if they tell people to go, then they don't, they're trespassing.
Okay.
Timothy Carpenter, 66, was shopping at Chesterdale's Home and Garden store, which has signs posted reading, "Masks are required, protecting you and our employees." While the state of Florida does not have a mask mandate, privately owned businesses can require customers and staff to wear masks. When employees asked Carpenter to wear a face mask, he refused and continued to shop. A police report cited by NBC2 says one of the store's owners asked to have Carpenter trespassed from the store. Carpenter repeatedly turned his back on deputies, telling them to put him in handcuffs, NBC2 reports. Deputies then arrested Carpenter, put him in handcuffs, and took him to the Naples Jail Center. He is facing a misdemeanor trespassing charge.
Interestingly enough, the opposite is also happening. There are like one or two places that I know of here in Arkansas that if you wear a mask in their store, they will tell you to get out.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's their choice.
Yep.
Their dollar.
God, why do I smell barbecue? It's so
barbecue.
weird.
Why did you mention food at this time of night, son? Come on, you should know better around here.
Because you can.
you got a bunch of fat people that are ready to go eat at any moment.
Because you can get McDonald's delivered.
I hate you. No, I can't. The one that.
Update to previous Florida man story. Florida man who used $3.9 million in PPP loans to buy a Lamborghini sentenced to 6 years in prison.
Are you congressman? Oh, was it the church dude?
No, there's okay. So we've covered this story like 3 or 4 times, and we always thought it was like the same guy. Turns out it's 3 or 4 different people who actually did the exact same fucking thing in Florida.
Is it not surprising that all the writers came from Florida? I mean, we had or Texas. It doesn't surprise me.
I'm doing this one in radio voice. A Florida man was sentenced on Wednesday to more than 6 years in prison for fraudulently obtaining approximately $3.9 million in Paycheck Protection Program loans and using these funds in part to purchase a $318,000 Lamborghini luxury car for himself. David T. Hines, 29, of Miami, pleaded guilty to one count of wire fraud on February 10th. According to court documents, Hines submitted multiple PPP applications to a PPP participating lender, claiming to have dozens of employees and millions of dollars in monthly payroll, in addition to submitting false and fraudulent IRS forms to support the applications.
Oh my.
Just said PPP really, really, really quick. And, you had to throw the K in there because, it's the K.
At this point, I'd rather throw a K into a lake of fire.
Shut up, Wesley.
I'll take it. The only reason that feud ever stays in the fucking news is because of Takei.
Oh God. Are you kidding? Yeah, never mind. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so we're tapped out on the Florida man stories.
All right.
And we're still under 3 hours.
Hey,
I've got one. I don't know if I want to end on this one. It's kind of grisly.
Let's end on the high ground.
Florida man does a year and a half of 100 daily push-ups, sit-ups, and squats, plus 10 kilometers of daily running. Punches man to death in one hit.
Wow.
Toasty. Okay. Florida man.
So okay. So apparently this guy, the guy who did this, the guy who died used a racial slur, and the guy who punched him was an employee of whatever the store was, and just
Dunkin' Donuts.
literally just punched him in the face and killed him.
Well, the dude that got punched was 77 years old.
Okay, I can see a little bit of leniency there. There's like a lot of history in there and growing up racially motivated and shit. But
Oh yeah. Well, okay, so police said a Dunkin' store employee fatally punched a 77-year-old customer in Florida after the employee said the man repeatedly used a racial slur against him. The victim, a man who the police did not name, was punched May 4th and died Friday. That led to a manslaughter charge against 27-year-old Corey Pujolis.
Oh, please.
Who worked at the store. He told Pujols told police that the man was extremely rude the day of the punch and had called him a racial slur. Pujols, who is black, said that he confronted the man about the slur, at which point the 77-year-old repeated it. The slur was not described further by police. A Tampa Police Department report said that after he was punched, the victim fell backwards and hit his head on the concrete floor. The Tampa Bay Times reports an autopsy shows the man suffered a skull fracture with brain contusions. So it wasn't so much the punch as it was the fall.
it could be a mix of both.
Yeah.
Depending on how hard he was punched.
He faces a maximum 30-year prison sentence.
They'll get it dropped.
For aggravated manslaughter.
They'll get it dropped. It's a racial thing now. They'll get it dropped.
We'll see.
But yeah, all the crazy thing, but then again, it is Florida, so who knows?
Okay, here's a lighter one to end it on. Florida woman stole pandemic money, stayed in fancy hotels, posted about it on Instagram.
So you can...
Idiot.
All right, this one's also getting radio voice. A Florida woman... damn it, stupid ads. A Florida woman, authorities allege, used the personal information of a Massachusetts resident to fraudulently obtain a pandemic-related federal loan that she used for a private flight to California and stay in luxury hotels, has been arrested, federal prosecutors said. Danielle Miller, 31 of Miami, was charged Tuesday with wire fraud, and according to the U.S. Attorney's Office in Boston. No defense attorney was listed to court records. Miller accessed the alleged victim's online Massachusetts Registry of Motor Vehicles records and used the personal identified information to open a bank account in the person's name. Miller then applied for in August and received more than $100,000 in economic injury disaster loan to the U.S. Small Business Administration, prosecutors said. She used the money for a private flight from Florida to California using a counterfeit Massachusetts driver's license in the alleged victim's name, but bearing Miller's photograph, and for stays in luxury hotels. Miller then posted pictures of herself at the hotels on Instagram. She also applied for a $900,000 federal loan, prosecutors said. If convicted, she faces 20 years in federal prison.
Do you know what makes your voice better, Ross?
What's that?
The fact that the light in your camera is flickering. Yeah, so it makes it look like you're on like ancient camera, you know?
Sepia tone.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Wow. Well, that will bring, unless you guys have anything else?
Nope.
That will bring our weekly Florida Man segment to a close. To the one or two of you that are still watching, thank you so much for hanging out with us for our bonus segment. It is always a pleasure to stare in the worst of what this world has to offer and find a little mirth in it.
We always end up getting more people after the fact watching later on YouTube and whatnot. So
the reason we cover Florida Man stories is because it just proves that Florida is the dick of America.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all again next week.